Late last month, 27 citizenship candidates from 12 different countries took an oath of allegiance and became U.S. citizens. One of those now U.S. citizens is a research assistant at CU Boulder from Havana, Cuba. We sat down with Yanko Davila, who spoke about his journey to achieving the American dream and what it means to him. Yanko, a 31-year-old from Havana, Cuba, like many immigrants, came to the U.S. in search for better and bigger opportunities.
The situation there is a little bit complicated, and I know my parents were professors at the university, both of them, and we were always broke.
Yanko lived in what he calls a fancy neighborhood, in a part of town where most government officials lived.
I didn't struggle as much as some other families did. So I always had a roof over my head, I always had food, and I always have clothing to wear.
While having those basic needs, Yanko and his family knew that even with a stable job, they were always going to have to look for other means to make a living, which is why they decided to pack their things and move to Miami.
So we had the idea and the confidence that in here we were going to be able to do just by working and by making an effort, we were going to be able to afford the living and not having to do anything illegal to do so.
Getting to the U.S. was a long and hard process for Yanko and his family. The family couldn't tell anyone about their move to the U.S. out of fear of what might happen if others found out. It was a secret that they had to keep on the down low for 20 years.
When I was a kid, my uncle came to the States, and shortly afterwards he had applied for a family reunification visa. So in 1995 I think the visa was approved, and since then we've just been waiting for the process, and it finished in 2010.
Yanko and his mom arrived in the U.S. in January of 2010, with his brother and father joining him later that year in March. In Miami, Yanko picked up the studies that he had left in Cuba and earned a bachelor's degree in mathematics and a minor in physics.
As part of the university research that I was involved, I built the university small cluster of computers, because I knew how to do that from Cuba. And based on that, they found some money and paid for training here at NCAR.
Since the training, Yanko said goodbye to Miami and moved to Boulder.
Since then, I was lucky enough to find a job here at the university, and I've been working since 2012 here.
However, moving to a new country and immersing in a new culture had its challenges.
The very first thing that shocks you is the language.
Though he learned a bit of English in Cuba, communicating with others was difficult.
You think that you know a little bit of the language, and then you come here and no, you don't. You understand them, you try to talk to people, and people cannot understand you back.
Another challenge he had to face was leaving loved ones behind.
It's my grandmother's brother, so I think it's my great uncle or my grand uncle, whatever that thing, but we were very close.
But he had to develop thick skin to be able to continue with his life.
You have to get a little bit harder and stronger, otherwise you'll always be trying to do something for them and might not necessarily be helpful for you or them.
Yanko realizes that what he has now in the United States, he might not have had in Cuba.
I wouldn't have a house. Right now, I own a house.
On October 27th of this year, Yanko became a U.S. citizen. He attended a ceremony accompanied by his father and his girlfriend, and he will always remember the people who helped him achieve his American dream.
I didn't get here by myself. I have the support of my family, my friends, and it's way too many people that are involved in to help you get somewhere. And it's a little bit selfish not to recognize that you get a lot of help to get where you're at.